Hi, this is Amy. I'm going to be showing you how to make some gluten-free, dairy-free waffles today in one bowl. Make it super easy. I have 2 large eggs at room temperature, and I have my scale, and I'll show you why a scale makes it so much easier. So I have my scale on there. There you go, that way you can see it. And I'm going to zero it out and make sure I'm in grams. And to my 2 eggs, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla because I love the flavor of cinnamon and vanilla in my waffles. I'm going to just measure that out, and vanilla's the kind of thing, a little more, a little less, it's fine. So that's 5 grams is 1 teaspoon. Next ingredient, we're going to do all our wet at the same time. Include some avocado oil that I have right here. We'll do that soon. I'm going to show you how I make buttermilk. So I did about a teaspoon or 2, maybe two teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. And then I added almond milk, other almond and coconut milk to make it 2 1/4 cups. And I just let that sit for a few minutes and it becomes buttermilk because what you're looking for is really the acid. That's also at room temperature. Fat. You need to either have butter or oil. I like to make these dairy-free, and I don't always like the flavor of the melted butter substitutes, so I use avocado oil. I get this from Costco, it's a good price. I'm going to press tare on my scale, and 2 tablespoons is 24 grams. So that's 1, pretty close. And just a touch more to make 24. So that's my fat. You definitely need to have a little fat in there. And I already have this measured, so I'm just going to go ahead and add my buttermilk. All right. And then I'm going to start with this whisk, and then I may end up moving to a spatula. Now I just had hand surgery, so I didn't know. It was looking a lot better. So it's hard for me to grip the bowl, so I'm holding it like this, not just to show you. All right. And I did go for a walk this morning with the dog, so I'm a little bit grabby. There. All right, that's going there and back onto the scale. And the next ingredient is I'm going to zero that out. Okay. Is 2 1/4 cups of flour. So I either use my own flour blend. Today I'm going to use Bob's 1-to-1. Make sure you use the 1-to-1 and not just the gluten-free one, because there I am. Because the Bob's gluten-free has bean flours. I just don't like the flavor of that. And I keep mine in a big bin, and I know about how much it weighs. It's 135 grams per cup. So I'm going to add that carefully. And that's 134, so 305 is what I'm looking for my 2. Just added a little bit extra. Can I take that out? There we go. I'll just take out a little bit. Because it is not touching the wet at all. So I'm going to put this over here by the warm waffle iron, which is going on. I have some maple sugar. I like to use maple sugar to also make these refined sugar-free. And for that, I'm going to need 36 grams is about 3 tablespoons. So it's going to come out a little chunky, but I'm going to add it to where the liquid is, so it should be fine. You could use brown sugar, you could use maple syrup, you could really use any kind of white sugar, whatever you like. You don't even need to use sugar. You can do sugar. You can just do without any sugar. I like the flavor. I think that this is when it's really tastes really good. Okay, so we're gonna let that kind of settle in. I put this out of the way. We do always need a little bit of salt. So a teaspoon of salt weighs, if it's kosher salt, weighs 4 grams. So I'm gonna put that sort of on top. And do you think this is easy? I never used to use a scale. I think it's so much easier. A little bit more. And you just get a feel for things like that too once you start doing this. Another great flavor is some cinnamon. So a teaspoon is about, I want to say it's about 5 grams. Let's see, I'll just kind of, oh no, it's not 5 grams, that's way too much. I'd say maybe 2 grams. That looks about right, because it's going to give it a really super good flavor. And most important, to help it rise and to not connect, but mix with the very important buttermilk, we're going to add some baking powder, and this is a specialty baking powder. 1 tablespoon of this weighs 15 grams. If you use the regular Clabber Girl, that's 12 grams. So it's really important, whatever brand you're using, to measure it out first and make sure that you know how much your brand weighs. Same with the flour. So not every gluten-free flour is the same. Some of them weigh more and some of them weigh less. Now, was that easy? I think I've been on, 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. And that's because I'm explaining it all to you. So I'm going to take this off of the scale. I think I got all the ingredients. I'm going to put this out of the way. And now I'm going to mix it just with the spatula to make it easy. Again, if you wanted to do these separate, you could, or you could also take the dry ingredients and make them the day before, including even the sugar, or the week before, and have them ready to go. You'd have your own little gluten-free mix. But one thing is that once you mix this in, make sure you look at the consistency, because if it's really, really thick, that's not right. And then you need to add some more, you definitely need to add some more milk, and I have some coconut milk ready to go. For my hand, because of my hand, I'm going to put this on a slightly wet kitchen towel, and that'll make it so I don't have to hold it quite so hard. All right. And you don't want to stir it to death, because it will, it might deflate some of those bubbles. So just make sure you're just enough to kind of get it mixed and there's not too many lumps. Give it some folding. Oh, see, some of that sugar didn't mix in. And usually I let this sit about 5 minutes, but my waffle maker is ready to go. I just got a new Krups. I've had the one I've had, gosh, over 10 years, and it's starting to get some staining from, I'm not saying burnt parts from the, I make Belgian waffles with the pearl sugar, and I just felt like, you know, it's time. Plus I can make it for work, for my work. All right, so here is your, so I think that is a nice texture. Okay, that's what it looks like. Turn this a little bit. I have my waffle maker all ready to go. I do need to add some, a little bit of spray, so I'm using a avocado spray for this. And it's the very first time I'm using it. Might be a little smelly, but luckily this is when you don't want to have smell-o-vision. Again, avocado oil going on here. And I'm going to take my measuring, this might be a little thick, but it's okay. And I like to put about, this is a 3-ounce scoop, this is probably about a ½ cup or so. I'm going to need more on that one. And I like mine to be a little bit free-form, sometimes the edges aren't exact. And this recipe makes about 8 of these. And I'll make a bunch of these and then have them for myself or my kids, especially if we're in a hurry. And you can also make it with more eggs if you want a higher protein. Again, no sugar at all. So, oops, there we go. And let's see how, I've already made a mess. Let's see how it comes out in about 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Hi, I'm back. They're almost done, so I'm going to just talk to you for a couple minutes while we're waiting. They smell so good. You really smell the vanilla and the cinnamon, and it's going to be a great flavor. But let's talk about that. So things that you can do, you know, I think vanilla is really important. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But you could put orange extract in there or lemon if you like that. But the extract really gives it a lot of flavor. Otherwise, it can taste a little bit bland. Salt, definitely important. You could, for other flavors besides the cinnamon, you can put pumpkin spice or nutmeg or maybe chive flavor, so you could get really creative. So things like that, things like cinnamon, the spices, it's really just for flavor. It's not necessary like the way baking powder is necessary. And then if you need, it's like I'm getting a little, still a little facial here too. If you need this to be vegan, you could perhaps do a chia seed or flaxseed egg would be fine, or one of the commercial egg replacers would also go very well. So I might take a little peek. Let's Let's see if you can see this. Let's back that up a little bit. Because since this is the first time I'm using it, I really don't know how long. Ooh, okay, not quite done. They're getting there. Maybe we'll check back in a minute so that you're not waiting too long. Okay, be right back. It's beeping. Let's see what's going on in the waffle maker. Okay, hopefully they're not sticking or anything. Oh, they're sticking a little bit, but I'm not going to touch the waffle iron itself. I just kind of poked them. Oh my gosh, you guys, these smell so good. Fresh waffles, right from the pan, ready to go. And if you like yours a little crisper, you could either let it cook longer, or you could then undercook them a little bit and then put them in your toaster. That way they are, if you like them super crisp, it's great. And if not, you don't have to worry. I'm going to put a tiny bit of spray on here, on the side, just a little. And I'm going to start my second batch, and then I'm going to let you go. I just want to get to a minute. And if you have any questions, you can find me at amythefamilychef.com, or my email is amy@amythefamilychef.com. I love talking to people about cooking and baking and how to make things for your family, healthy, easy, all that stuff. So thanks for joining me. I hope you'll try this recipe, and you'll see how simple cooking can be. All right, bye.